Hello and welcome everybody to another Wednesday evening fly tying spectacular. This is another round of Project Healing Water special. Anyways, tonight we are going to be tying up some zonkers, and good news is you guys get to help me tonight. I got literally a drawer full of the fruit flavor shine of orange, cherry, lemon, and lime. Lots of different color options for us to work with tonight. Um, and I'm going to need your input as to what color we should kick these off with. I'm going to need your help. We're going to do some zonker strips. We're going to do some dubbing. We're going to do some bead heads. It's going to be a fun time. So we're going to need your help to help me work on what color to start with and whatnot. Also, wanted to share with you guys and gals a little project that I was working on all day today. Um, and it involves this. This is some weed whipper, weed whacker material. Edging line, whatever. This is a plastic. I'm not sure what type of plastic this is, but it's .065. It says it's good for 22 refills. I don't know. Anyways, this is some good stuff. I picked it up at Handyman Hank's for $16, and I've been doing my lawn with it for quite some time. And I took that and some parachute cord material, and I took out the innards of the parachute cord, and I swapped that out for the now it's all boogered up. Hold on now. It's like the telephone cord when it just gets twisted just the wrong way. Here we go. Anyways, I took out the inner core of this parachute cord, and I replaced it with the blue stuff. Tied a knot on either end, a bigger loop on one end than the other. Here's another one that I did, just some scrap parachute cord I had laying around. A good size loop on one side and a small loop on the other. Me and thinking that this could just be clipping onto a little carabiner or something. And the bigger loop is big enough that you could pass the whole thing through, so you could thread it through whatever, and then just have a loop on itself. So I made one of those, and I can't see it. You might be able to see it, but I got a little piece of cord on the back of my phone, because I use my phone as my camera when I'm out on the water, and I need my phone. Hate to be that guy, but I don't want to lose my phone, so I basically did the same thing, and I got a little smaller one that this will, at least when I'm out in my kayak, this will be attached to my life vest, and I can clip my phone to this and get my hand all the way out there for that big old selfie. And it actually it's got a nice little spring to it. Anyways, how I did it is I stuck it in there. I tied my knot on one end, and then I pushed it all the way through, got it to where the length was, tied the other knot. So it's all together um, as it is, and then this loop is big enough to do uh, around a piece of PVC pipe is what I used for these larger ones, and I wrapped it around real tight around the PVC pipe, zip tied the other end, gave it made sure it was on there super tight as I could get it, put it in a pot of water, brought it up to a boil, let it sit there for a little while, at boiling at 212 degrees. I had the thermometer on it in the pot, watching it get up, and once it hit 212, let it sit there for a little bit, right at boiling, and then poof. Carefully took it out of the water and chucked it into the freezer. Let it sit in the freezer for about, I don't know, half hour, 45 minutes or so. And it was soaking wet when I put it in there, so it was a little bit frozen, and you kind of break the icicles off of it, and there you go. You got yourself a handy dandy lanyard. Um, from my old theater days, it was kind of a thing of, always having everything attached to you. So if I was aerial working as an aerial rigger, I would always want my crescent wrench attached to me, and having something like this would just be fantastic. Um, in the military, I had a little lanyard, kind of similar to this, that was just the right for my pistol, so you don't lose your pistol in the heat of the battle. But anyways, that's just a little something I've been working on today. It says we're down to 0 viewers. Did we lose our reception there, Bill? I don't know. But we're going to be tying some zonkers tonight. I'm going to need your help building it, because I'm going to let you guys pick the colors. I mean, we have all sorts of options to choose from and work with. I don't know why it says I have 0, and then I have one viewer. And then one thing says I have 0 viewers. So we're gonna give it a little bit of time before we kick off on the fly tying. So if you are with us here tonight already, bada boom, bada bing, you win. Hit that thumbs up. Appreciate it. Yeah. So how's everybody doing tonight? We've got the smart mouth in the house and Mr. Anderson. Good evening. Mississippi River level is LOW, low. I don't know if it's classified as low or very low. Um, so I've been hitting the lakes in the kayak, and I've had some good success. Good old white popper. Topwater action is some of the best action, I think. Hitting them largemouth, big old buckets. Big old buckets. So, well, I don't know. We'll give it another minute and 15 seconds. Right at 18:10, we'll start tying. So who wants to pick the first color of our zonker? We're basically going to be doing a zonker, bead-headed zonker with a dubbing belly. When we can probably go 1 or 2 tone, and then we'll do a wire wrapping that all together. And I'm going to throw in a little, maybe a little bit of red crystal flash or flash in the butt and the tail. I think that'll work well. Trying to get some involvement. Beautiful day today. I got out to the Rum River, and it looks fishier than what it actually is. I went up to Princeton, and I paddled up not quite a half mile upriver because there was a big old log jam. Couldn't get any further. Um, and it was a log that's like on the bottom of the river, and it was impassable. I wasn't gonna mess around trying to get out and around. I didn't want it that bad. Black and white. All right, we'll do a black and white one. Now, are we thinking a white belly with a black zonker? Are we talking a black zonker with a white belly? Is the zebra black with white stripes or white with black stripes? Who knows? I say, since I found the white, we'll do a black and white. Maybe we'll find like a cream. I did herring rainbow patterns, rainbow trout patterns. Nice. Like a herring rainbow trout pattern. Okay. So does that zonker That'd be like a kind of like a pinkish belly with a greenish back. All right, so we'll start. When Josh, you say black and white, I'm going to assume you mean a black zonker with a white belly. That's what I'm going to start with. And then later on, if we want, we can say white and black. Crappie landing for your big boats. Some monsters mighty hiding in there. Should try Millhaven Dam. I'll have to look. Millhaven. Hold on. Let me write this down. I just need a piece of paper. If I don't write things down, then I don't remember things. Mill Haven Dam. Fairhaven. Alright, I'll check that out. I'll Google it. I'll look it up. One thing that's really nice here in Minnesota is we've been really awesome with our Lake Finder app, or they have this interactive waterways map that really helps you kind of navigate and find bodies of water and such, launches and ramps and access points. All right, well, I'm going to spin my big old head around, do the hokey pokey, and we'll reconvene over at what is this? And now all of a sudden the camera's not working. We go through all that. Let's see here. Nope, we're here. Let's uh-oh. All right, well this is awkward. Let's try this. All right, it says that it's working. Oh, this did this to us last time. All right, this happened to me Monday. All right, let's try this again. Sorry for the technical difficulties, ladies and gentlemen. It's been one of those days. Let's see here. Video connections. And we will refresh. Yeah, that's zooming. We got the zoom in working. All right, I got that. I have control over the camera on this end. And then we just need hmm. Well, We're trying to figure this out, ladies and gentlemen. I wish I had. Anybody know any good jokes? Why did the what did the fish say when it hit the concrete wall? All right. All right. It should be working, but it is not. Let's try that. Well, I don't know, folks. Right. Well, we can get this. We're trying to get my phone camera to work. Um, it says that it's broadcasting on my phone, because that's what gives us the view of the vise. And that's connected to there. Smile. I don't know which. We'll do a disconnect and reconnect. I don't want to terminate the live stream though, because we already got 4 of us here. That's 4 of us here, that the 4 of us aren't there. Oh, I don't know, folks. Let's see here. Let's try this one more time. Because I do have my mobile data turned off this time. Because that was part of the technical difficulty of it last time. Da, 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 da. No. All right. We're at it. I have no idea what was wrong, um, or what I did to fix it, or anything like that. So hopefully we can stay connected and we'll have a successful evening. So we're going to start things off. Thank you all for joining me, joining us as we do this wonderful thing called fly tying together. Whew. We're going to be building these zonkers kind of by request, by design. Mm, letting you guys and gals help build these together. So I think we should start this one off. We're not going to go super big on these. We're going to go, I think I'm going to stick with these size 6. This is a mustad. It's a 3x long, 2x high. So it's a 2x high and a 3x long shank streamer hook. Size 6. Bum, bum, bum. And I think I should have some eyes. Oh, I hit my. Did I lose my own voice? Testing? Okay. I thought I lost my own audio. Haha. Alright, we're going to use some tungsten beads. Let's see what's would be a good size for this. This is a 4.6 millimeter. I want to add some weight to this. That might be my last bigger bead. I'm not sure if this is what size this is, but it doesn't overshoot the other eye, or the size of the bead head. I think this will work. So we'll use our handy dandy patented hook holder there, and we'll put our bead in this way. Alright, so how we're gonna build these, let's get our Zonker strip ready. How it's gonna end up is we're gonna tie in our Zonker strip right in front of that bead head. So we're gonna do a little white body back there. So what we need to do is find our thread. Alright, so it's going to bounce around for a little while, but we're going to line that up. I'm going to start my thread right there. So now I know that no matter what I do, if I keep things pretty close to that point, we should leave ourselves a little bit of room up front. Alright, let's go ahead and I'll tie in some silver wire. We'll run this all the way to the back. Right to the bend. Alright. Now what do we want to pick for our dubbing? We wanted to do a light white belly. Let's dig and find some dubbing that's kind of whitish. What we should probably do is we should probably switch our threads to a white thread, which is what I'm going to do. I think it'll help us with our white belly. Alright, we're going to just switch threads real quick. Na. White thread. White 210. 210 denier Danville's flat wax thread. One of my favorites. I like the Good old 210 denier flat wax thread. Alright, let's find some dubbing that'll have some action in it. I've got Wait, you think you'd have some white dubbing or something light. I don't think I have anything actually white. I got some, oh, I know what I got. I've got a pearl stuff, ice dub. Alright, so instead of white, it's going to be silver. I've got this little white angel hair. And I suppose we might be able to take some of this white rabbit and kind of infuse that in there. Maybe? We'll see. We're having fun tonight. I don't know about you. Even with the technical difficulties, it's okay. We'll add some wax. And we'll just start with the silver. This will be our kind of white. This is just all going to be an underbody. Wow. That's too much. We're going to make a fairly good sized noodle with this. A little bit of a clump. And just for experimental purposes, I'm just going to grab a little pinch of this white rabbit. See if we can't just throw that right in the mix. I don't know, never done that. Just grab two different types of dubbing at the same time. Not a fan. So make sure we get it in there nice and twisted. I don't know, I think that added a little something. I'm going to go a little bit further forward with this. Kind of like this angel hair. This just kind of crinkles right on there. I keep pushing this bead back because I keep eyeballing how much room I have up front. And I'm going to go just a little bit more. I'm doing a nice bulky body on this. And that's okay. Because we're going to layer a little Zonker strip right on top. Alright, we got room up front. Bead head's going to get right up on there. Now, I know, Josh, when you said black and white, what you actually meant was black and silver. Just kidding. I don't think I got some little poly dub maybe, but everything is just like you start looking, it's like everything has a color to it. Nothing is white. Got a little bit of wool. A rabbit. Poly. I don't know. Alright. So I suppose now we could switch back to that black thread. We'll start that right in front of the bead. Alright, let's find our Zonker strip. There we go. Alright, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come all the way to the end. And this is one of those things that, honestly, I do it, but I don't know why I do it. They say I should, they say you should. So we're going to do it anyways. We're going to cut this at a diagonal. And whenever we're cutting Zonker strips, say it with me now. Cut the hide, not the hair. We're going to cut the hide, not the hair. So what I'm not doing is I'm not just coming and just giving it a big chomp like that. I'm going to get underneath the hair as best as I can. So we still have these little bits left. Cut the hide, not the hair. Cut the hide, not the hair. Alright, let's measure this out. We got a hook's length right there. We'll take that all the way to the back. And that looks pretty good. Alright, say it with me now. Cut the hide, not the hair. Just work your scissors right underneath. That way when we get to our next section, if you just cut the hair, just chomp the whole thing, you lose that whole little bit. But now, we're going to give ourselves just a little bit. Now we're actually going to cut the hair. Just this tiniest little bit. I don't even think this really matters, but I'm going to set this on top, but start on the side. Maybe at like on a slight angle, because your first wrap, it's going to want to roll over a little bit. So it ends up right on the top. Alright, so now we'll give it a little fro hawk. This will help you get your wire work through. Alright, once you get your first wrap in there, just take a second wrap right there in the back. And we'll just work our way forward. What I find that helps is Mr. Bodkin. Take your bodkin and the hair is directly in front. It really helps kind of work that way. Alright, so come up on it and take your bodkin and just push that hair right past it. If we do a nice clean job, maybe they'll take us out for ice cream later. I don't know. But what we should be able to do is end up on top of Zonker. And you should be able to cross right over top. I think I just biffed it. I think I rolled this whole thing over. Oh no. Alright, so we're going to rewind. Because the far side of this just didn't... If y'all could see what I see. Half of this Zonker strip. Oh, I see what happened when the first wrap. It pinched it. whole hide rolled over on itself. Okay, let's try this again. Take two. Act 1, Scene 2, Take 2. That looks a lot better. We're getting some pressure on it, and the whole hide was rolling over instead of laying flat. But boy, oh boy, I think this is just going to be absolutely fishy. All right. Take our handy dandy nippers. Give that a nice little clean trim, and then we'll just build a small head. Oh no, too much force. That's because I inadvertently grabbed the wrong thread there, don't you know? Alright, let's go ahead and whip finish this off. Yeah, I think the bead might be just a little bit big for this head, but for this hook, but I think it'll be alright. And I think I'm gonna be brave. I'm gonna tickle that belly just a little bit with my Velcro. Boy, I think that's a pretty good equivalent to a black and white for not having a white dumming. And just that little white snowshoe rabbit just wasn't quite the... Let's add a little dab of head cement up front. And for that, I'm going to find my bone dry if possible. There it is. We'll make sure we got our light working. A little drop on the old bodkin, then we can set it and forget it. All right. I think this is just a fantastic little pattern. I think if we start adding, I think if you start chucking more weight into this, it might be a little bit too heavy, but this will really want to kind of bounce around as it is. Let's see here. Let's find a little here we go. Get in for the close-up. So that's basically it. We didn't end up with too much, hardly any of that hair trapped in there. Oh, Mr. Pike. Leave me alone, Mr. Pike. We finally got this. Ooh, a white chenille. White chenille. Good call, Steve. I just was able to see that. Yeah, the twisting of the thread. It doesn't come up really much on video here, but I am constantly spinning my thread, constantly. I think it's a good practice to have. Yeah, white chenille. I think I do have some white chenille somewhere. May the chenille always be in my favor. I kind of want a black and white one now. Now you got me really thinking about white chenille. I just have to remember where my chenille is. Turkey feathers, regular feathers. Did I actually put my chenille away? I might have. Hold on. We're going to get some chenille. If nothing else, I'm determined. Bazinga. We've got white chenille. Oh yeah, we're going to do a black and white one now, boys. Click, clack. With a white pearlescent chenille. Now we're getting specific. I don't think I have any, actually. All right, Steve, check and mate, maybe. I've got just a little bit of this left. We'll do that. And because it's not super thick, we'll two-tone it. All right. Thank you all for joining me on that one. Let's do it again. How do we feel about that bead? I like that bead up there. And I think it's close enough to be in the right size. It might be a little bit oversized, but I'll take it. You know, if we were going for like a bona fide leechy leech, you know, you could almost throw a colored bead in there. A red bead or a pink bead. Everywhere a bead. Alright. We're going to start with our white thread this time. Let's kind of eyeball where we want our bead to be. Or two small beads with a gap. Oh boy, you guys are having fun tonight. Oh, let's get rid of this squeak. Alright, so is this kind of like how we do with the poppers almost? We're going to start our thread right back there. And that's where we know. It's hard to see. Can't really see it with the white thread so much, but we want to just leave ourselves a little bit of room up front to tie in our zonker. We'll tie in our wire. We'll tie that in first. And this is just the fine fine, fine silver wire. 13/100ths. Right to the bend. Well, we'll have to try the double bead. Bead, bead, double bead. I found that a lot of the bigger flies that I tie, one of the things that always gets me is the weight. Um, I don't know. I think flies end up pretty heavy, and you really got to step up your rod if you're going to tie and throw big flies. Because I had some flies that were just a little bit too much for the 8 weight. And if it's just a little bit too much for the 8 weight, oh boy, we're catching big fish at that point. All right, so we're gonna double. We're gonna tie in this pearl straggle string. All right, so we're gonna do an underbody. With the white. Let's do a full wrap behind. And I want to kind of keep my wraps. I might go back and forth about halfway. Because I kind of want to give this just a little bit of a bulky belly minnow. Kind of, I just don't want it looking too scrawny, if you know what I mean. Just keep pushing back on that bead to make sure. I think that'll work. Then we're going to go over that once with the pearl straggle string. And this is the last of it. I don't even know. That we'll just work that right in there. Doesn't have to be quite touching wraps. We might be able to actually salvage and get another fly or two out of this. Maybe another fly. But this is definitely getting the color across. All right. All right, at this point, we're going to whip finish this right back here. And then we'll start with our black thread. All right, where's our Zonkers? All right, we'll start with our end. And we're going to give ourselves a little diagonal cut. Let's grab a little bit better of a strip. I think I was the knucklehead that made this strip. That's why it's not very even. we'll get in here and do our diagonal cut here, about a 45. That allegedly helps it swim better, fish better. The fish will look at it and judge you and say, thank you for doing that. There's a hook's length. There's 2. Cut the hide, not the hair. I like that. And just a little bit off the top up front. Remember, it's going to roll over on you just a little bit. Make sure you got enough of a bite, and you want to get it nice and tight. Right up on there. Kind of thin that out. And I'll bring our wire forward. Just take your time working your way through the hair. Nice kind of even, openly spaced ribbing. Make sure we don't get that rollover effect like we did last time. But usually you can just kind of bop what you want out of the way. And that last one will just cross right into the head, where we'll secure it down. So this one we got a little bit more crowded up front than I would have liked, but I think it'll work. In fact, I'm fairly confident it will be a-okay. As long as we have an open eye and love in our hearts, it'll be a-okay. Throw a little bit of head cement up front, and this will be D-U-N, done. And for head cement tonight, we are using Bone Dry, brought to you by Solarez. I wish I was cashing in some big corporate sponsor checks doing all these fly tying videos, but we're not, because that's not what it's about. It is about sharing the passion of fly tying, one video at a time. All right. Shouldn't have much to pick out, but if you do have any trapped zonker hair at this time, this would be the time to Pikachu it out. You could use your bodkin again and just, usually if you go right along the wire, just in front of it, and pull up, that'll trap, or that'll pick any of the hair that was trapped. Start at your back and work your way front. Bada boom, bada bing. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And there's nothing to pick out there because that's a straggle string. I like that one. I think that one came out a-okay as well. Let's come in for a closer look. I mean, fly tying doesn't have to be overcomplicated. Might be a little bit too long of a tail. I might shorten that up. Might not. There's a close-up on the tail. Cut the hide, not the hair. Cut the hide, not the hair. If you need to say that when you're first starting to tie, say that to yourself. Cut the hide, not the hair. Oh, I see. You got to cut it the other direction on the southern hemisphere. That's nuts. All right. Here we go now. What's next on the color docket? We did the original thought was a black and white. We ended up with a black and silver. And then we did a black and white with a little bit of pearl. What is next, ladies and gentlemen? That one is just a little bit longer of a tail, but it is what it is at this point. Let's see. So, what do we got for a color combination? I've got a selection of different colored Zonker strips and all sorts of different colored dubbings that we can work with. So let me know what you're thinking. Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the comments. What makes a good color combination? Ooh, that's a pretty blue. So far we have black and white. We're going to do this for, I don't know, about another hour, so let me know in the chats. So be creative. It doesn't have to be, I don't know, plant the seed. Plant the seed of whatever we might do. Alright, let's go. We'll turn on the face camera. We'll turn on the face camera so everybody has something to look at for a minute. I'm waiting. I'm waiting for a comment to come in the chat. Let me know what color's next. A color combination. First come, first serve. We'll see what we come up with. Otherwise, I'll play with these little bungee things that I made. Which is interesting considering these two are virtually the same length, I think. But the little one doesn't quite stretch. All I need is an arm's length for those, and these ones are about 6 foot, maybe 5 foot. Pink and purple. Roger that, red leader. let's do that. I like pink and purple. Na 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 na. All right. So since Josh said pink and purple, let's do that. We'll go pink, pink and purple, cream body, purple zonker. Cream body with pink instead of pearl. Purple zonker. Alright. Now we got a couple working on. We're going to do the pink and purple first, and then we'll do a chartreuse and pink. Here, we'll do a pink and purple, and then we'll do a purple and pearl. With a pink instead of pearl and purple zonker. All right, we'll hone in on Smart Mouse. So we're going to do Josh's pink and purple, and then we'll do the cream, maybe cream body after that, because I've got pink and purple, or fuchsia. Pink and fuchsia. That's purpley enough, right? Fuchsia, is fuchsia purple? I think that's purple. Purplish. Alright, we'll stick with these size 6 hooks. I like these hooks tonight. Oh. We gotta switch the camera over. Haha. Now that we got it working, might as well use it, right? I'm just doing a quick dig. See if I have any colored bead that would look good there. We're going to stick with that same silver bead, my friends. My good friends. Alright. We'll do our size 6 hook. And again, I'm not exactly sure what size of bead we're working with here. I don't have a bead sizing gauge. Do they make a bead sizing gauge? Let me know in the let me know in the chat. Do you know do you know of a few, if there's a bead sizing gauge? Not sure. Not sure. We'll have to be careful here because this is a slightly smaller thread. But we'll make it work. Always make it work. It doesn't matter the obstacle as long as you stick with it and reach your desired outcome. Or not even necessarily a desired outcome, because sometimes things do not go as planned. Who's ever had something not go as planned? Has that ever happened to you? It may or may not have happened to me once or twice. Right when you think you have it, it all goes to snap. Alright, this is a super dry thread. It's not like our flat wax thread we were working with earlier. This is the Vivus 10-aught. So we'll add a little touch of wax there. And this is this icy fuchsia ice wing fiber. So it's a little bit bigger than a dub. But we're going to see what happens here. what I could do. I'm just going to cut that down just a little bit into a smaller pieces. And we'll get a nice icy fuchsia body going on. Just keep twisting it. If you keep twisting it, eventually it will submit. And we're going to bulk it up just a little bit towards the front. We might have to add just a little tiny little touch more. But we'll go with about half as much. I think I like that. Now, what I'm not a fan of, what I don't do, is I don't like to just cross my thread over like that, because I think that leaves too weak of a link. I feel a little vulnerable when I do that. And that'll pick out just fine, fine, fine. Alright, we're going what, pink? That's what we got. So looking here at the end, we got a nice end. And we'll do our backwards bill diagonal cut. And allegedly, if you go the opposite direction, it'll be for the southern hemisphere, which can be fun. All right, there's a hook's length, and there's two. So you got a hook's length for the body, and then another hook's length for the tail. Cut the hide, not the hair. Except for this part, then we'll cut the hair, not the hide. Just a little sliver. Just a little bit at the very, very end. Oh, we got to get our thread back on there. Alright, let's tie this in. Give it a little pinch. Start it on the near side and let it roll over until it hits the center, and then we can lock it down. Give it the mohawk, the punk rocker. this forward. 1 full wrap, 2 full wraps at the back end. I think I only did 1 at the last time. I might regret that. But we'll just take our bodkin, work our way forward. Nice big open spiral. Nice even McRib. Be sure to get on there nice and tight. As we know, slack is evil. Secure this wire down. And trim off the excess. Bada boom, bada bing. That's a beautiful, beautiful thing. Because that's a 1/0, we're going to give it a couple extra wraps. Not a 1/0, but it's a 10/0 thread. Eek. It's pretty sturdy. We're going to need a little bit more of a whip finish than that. Going to need a little bit more than just 1 half hitch. A little bit of head cement up front. And I've been using bone dry just to keep things quick, fast, and in a hurry. If I wasn't live streaming, if we were just trying to just be done or just take our time with it, some Sally Hansen's, some secret sauce would definitely suffice up here. It kind of looks like candy. Kind of looks like a piece of bubble gum. Some grape bubble gum up front. And then we're going to pick that out a little bit with the Velcro. And we'll clean up the top with the bodkin. And this guy will be a-okay. Alright, so we shouldn't have too much to clean up, but if we just kind of follow that wire along just in front of it, it'll pick out anything that got trapped, if that's what you're into. Most cases we are. Just a little rough. Just a little scruff. Get that magic to come out. Oh, that's nice. Well, I think that is a fantastic fly, if I do say so myself. That pink mohawk has its charm, for sure, For sure. You know, the thing is, I do have some digitals, but my battery is dead. I need a, what is it? An A76 for the caliper. Otherwise, I am SOL. All right. Da-da-da-da-da-da-dum. Alright, so cream body with pink instead of purple, pearl, and cream body with pink. I'm trying to, my dyslexia is kicking in big time trying to read the chat. Alright, let's go. Steve says dark green or olive zonker, yellow body striped with a black marker. Now that sounds promising. That sounds yummy. We'll do that. Well, let's do that one. Because I think that was kind of like a... Oh, I got an idea. We could also do a little... We might be able to do a red bead with that one. I think. If it's the right size of bead. Might be too big. Is this too big? Hey, mister. Where did the other ones go? Well, actually, there's only one way to find out. Is to just throw it on the hook. Because what its size is kind of irrelevant. As long as it works. That's a big old bead. I'll have to give that a squish. What do we think? Do we want to throw a... Or... Oh, no, let's do a... Because we're going to do a yellow body. Ah, that's on there already. Don't overcomplicate it, AA Ron. But I do gotta pick out the... Zonker. I think this will do us just fine. See, I've got these hides, and you just run them right through the Zonker cutter. I've got one of those. It's a Tandy leather for cutting strips for leather lace work, I believe. Oh yeah, that's going to be nice with that. And do we want to just do a chenille body, or do we want to do a little bit of dub-a-dub-dub? I think we'll do a dubbing on that. We'll still hit it with the marker though. That'll work just fine. we'll do a white thread. That'll blend in the underbody just a little bit, but a little bit better. Kind of work with that yellow. Won't obscure it too much. I will say though, for the most part, in general, as far as colors of thread, black, white, red, olive, chartreuse. If I only had 5 colors, though, that's what it would be. But ultimately, technically, theoretically, all you need is white and a good set of markers. But I don't know. That's what they say. All right. This is going to be a fun yellow. Unless I have something else. Let's go with this yellow. This is some fly tyers dungeon. They call this Sea Dragon Yellow Phase. And then we'll do some, because it's got little bits of leg in there, and I think that'll be fun. Alright, let's grab our wax. We'll need to wax our line a little bit. Just to get a little extra sticky. Alright, let's get this in there. This is some pretty jazzy stuff. This might not dub on pretty well. Let's see. It's just going to go on kind of chunky, but we'll make it work. Just don't try to put it all on at once. Little bits at a time. That's usually what works out best anyways. Just twist it on there. Make it do what you want. I think we'll go just a little bit more. Then we'll throw a whip finish on it. And that'll be done. Hey, look at that, we have a hitchhiker. Alright, so that is that. Let's get our olive back here. That's going to look good. And we'll throw some black stripes in there. I think that'll be A-okay. Alright, let's measure that out. There's a hook's length. There's 2. And where do we cut this? On the hide, not the hair. Oh, that's... These scissors are about done. Kind of starting to lose their edge a little bit. I'm kind of starting to suffer because this is 2 years in a row with no Fly Expo, and that's usually where in the past where I've always picked up my scissors. And we'll go with the olive thread. And when I start my thread, I push this bead back a little bit. That'll work. Alright, let's get that mohawk up. A little frohawk. Nice and tight. And if you get too much of the hide of the zonker rolling over at this point, when you're doing this, ease up a little bit. Let your wire go all the way around, and then pull up. Just do what you gotta do to get it through, and then carefully lift it up. That should be enough. Really lock that down up there. Push that bead back. Everything is good to go. Couple of whip finishes. And that is going to be that. Didn't get too much trapped. With enough practice, you really get to a point where you don't trap too much hair where you don't want it trapped necessarily. Sounds like advice you'd give to a teenager, but it is what it is. Alright, let's add a little dab of head cement up front. And then we'll get our marker out and we'll just do maybe 1-2 touches with the black marker. Really work that in there. And then it's just a matter of set it and forget it. We'll hit the bottom with our Velcro and pick some of that wonderful material out just a little bit. That'll be a lot of fun. Alright, we're going to hit this with the marker now. Right on the belly. Let's go right there and right there. I think that's alright. That'll fish, tell you that for free. Alright, I gotta stretch my back. Alright. That one's alright. Alright, what do we think should be next? We got just a little bit more time. I think we're going to do one more and then we're going to call it an evening. My back is really starting to get tight. So I'm going to hang out here, take a little break, take a little lean back and see how everybody's doing. Nice and froggy. If you're just joining us, you'll want to go back to the beginning of this video because I talked a little bit about how I made these little paracoils. I'm sure there's a million other YouTube videos that goes into great detail on how to make these. Check them out. Good stuff. Good stuff. Alright, we're going to need another color combination. We've done the black and white. Maybe we should... Oh yeah, we're going to do... we're going to do a different one. We're going to do a cream body with pink. Cream body. I don't know if I have a cream. A lot of whites. Maybe there's a off-colored. That's a natural kind of a brown. Grays. I think this is crosscuts. And there's a difference between a regular zonker and a crosscut. It just depends on which way the fibers are oriented. Oh, whoop, whoop. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Oh, I think that might be actually my, that's mink. Mink. It says light brown. Light brown looks kind of creamy. That's not in a strip yet. Alright, well, I think we're going to do... It just has to be a white body. A white zonker with a pinkish pearl. Trying to go back in the chats. Cream body with pink instead of pearl and purple. Alright, we got our white. Where'd my white zonker strip go? Oh, it was a... I don't know, it's buried again. The crosscut. Tuck you back in. These little 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. These little 10 drawer units are just fantastic. Alright, there's our white. I'll do the hokey pokey, turn myself around. Back to camera, back to the bench view. Camera 2. Come in, camera 2. All right. Size 6 streamer hook. Will the bead fit? Yes, it will. So we couldn't do cream, but we will do white. We'll get our wire. Alright, now for pink, this is some Arctic snow, hot pink. Don't eat that yellow snow. Add a little touch of wax. This is some nice fluffy stuff. Nice hot pink body. It's like this Zonker is brought to you by Mattel. But my hands are so dry, I just can't get this stuff to not just slide through my fingertips. A little bit more. Gonna bulk that up right up front. Alright, let's get our little Zonker strip. This is going to be a little dainty one, but we'll make it work. We'll make it work. I've got one hook, two hook. I have to adjust that a little bit, but I think that'll work. Remember, if you're getting too much of the material rolling over as you are wrapping your wire forward, wait until you add tension until you pull up. But be careful, don't pull it right out of the vise. And we'll cross it over at the top. It kind of uses that little Zonker as a little padding and kind of a little bit of a camouflage spot. All right. Well, I think if nothing else, this definitely illustrates the imagination being your only limitation. You know, go bananas, find yourself some different colored rabbit strips or some rabbit hides and cut your own strips. But be careful when you're cutting your own strips. Um, if you're just starting for your first time, I recommend don't have your heart set on your first batch. You'll definitely want to kind of practice a little bit. Find your own rhythm, find your own kind of pattern, if you will. What works best for you. Boy, that's hot. That is hot. We might have to shorten that tail up just a little bit. Use that as a gauge. That's one. Yeah, we're going to go just a little bit shorter. Go right into that diagonal cut. Yeah. A little more proportionate. I would rather things be proportionate than pretty. But that's just me. Some people would rather have it look pretty than be proportionate. But for me, proportionate aesthetically is one of those things. That and if you fish in any kind of length of time with any kind of streamer, you'll know what I mean when I say a short strike. You start just kind of getting nibbles, start getting bumps. But nobody's taking my fly. Well, they want to, but they're just hitting your tail. They're not quite fully committed. You get a fish and they just start nipping at the back end. And I think maybe it's just they're checking you out, really. Because I mean, how else is a fish going to explore its world? It's got its visual, it's got its eyes, it can smell, maybe it can taste, I suppose. But it does everything else with its mouth. So but that being said, ladies and gentlemen, my back is killing me, Smalls. Absolutely killing me. But we'll see. We shall see. Today's the 23rd. We got one more here in June, rolling into July. If you like what you see, hit that thumbs up button. If you love what you see, leave a comment. Leave a comment sometime between now and next week. Give me an idea of a pattern to tie. Something big, fishy, kind of fun. Might be a recycle rerun. I don't know. These dog days of summer, my brain's too busy thinking of fishing. It's hard for me to really hone in on some of these tutorial videos. I'd rather be out on the water. But we do what we can. Alright, gang, thanks for tuning in. Be sure to join me Monday mornings for a cup of coffee. We do that from 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock, and then we do these from 6 to 8. Wednesdays and days. Alright, guys, gals, thanks for tuning in. Happy tying, tight lines. Peace.